All right, here we are. Rubens, how you doing?
Doing really great. And you, Darren?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad at all. All right. So, hello everyone. Thank you very much for joining us today. Before we get started, we'd really like to know where everyone's joining us from. So, if you can go into the chat and just drop a message to say what country or city you're watching us from, we'd really love to see. Right, I'm sure people are clacking their keyboards, trying to get a few out. But anyway,
Yeah, don't be
Rubens,
shy.
why don't you tell us where you're from? Where are you joining us from today?
So I'm from Belgium, but I'm currently in Cervinia in the Italian Alps, uh, enjoying the winter season. What about you?
Yeah, so I'm also in the Italian Alps. I'm in a town called Sestriere. Sestriere, some of you may have heard of if you watched the 2006 Winter Olympics. I certainly didn't watch the 2006 Winter Olympics, but yeah, Sestriere hosted some of the skiing events. All right, here we go. We've got people from Newcastle upon Tyne. Lovely. Antalya in Turkey. Very good. That's what we like to see. Okay, so Rubens, do you want to tell us what we're doing here, what this live stream is about?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so today we're going to talk about different points. It will be a Q&A as well regarding the summer 2026 summer campaign. Yes, we are in the middle of summer. It's snowing through my window right now, but it's already now that we think about preparing the summer to be sure everything is going right. Um, yeah, working for TUI, it's not just one season. As now we are in winter, we're both working here. We can. Lots of our colleagues are doing like summer and winter as well. Um, so yeah, we will talk about the seasonal work, what winter role looks like, what also summer roles are, and compare both of them. Also, please, everyone watching, feel free to just send us any question during the time we are with you, and we will just answer you. And we're looking at the chat. So yeah, just go ahead. Um, Now, Dara, you've mentioned that you are now in Sestriere, but can you explain us a little bit about your journey with the company?
Yeah, absolutely. So right now, this is my fourth winter season with Crystal Ski. My first role within TUI was indeed with Crystal Ski. I worked as a Crystal Ski rep in La Plagne in France. Then from there, while I was there, we got sent out a job posting about working as a bike tour guide on a cruise ship. So that's what I went and did after that. I went and worked for Morella Cruises, another branch of, or another subsidiary of TUI. I worked there for a year and a half, out doing bike tours kind of all around the world, just taking people cycling. That was fantastic. Then when I was out there, I was sitting on a beach in the Caribbean and I realized I really wanted to go skiing again. So I moved back to Crystal Ski. I went to Austria for a season. I worked in St. Anton as a service support rep. So a slightly different job role to my first season. I stayed in Austria again for the summer where I did loads of hiking, cycling. Austria again for another winter. Then I made the jump slightly south from Austria down to Lake Garda, where I worked this summer. And now that brings me here to Sestriere. So yeah, I think I've been to lots of different places, and I've enjoyed all the roles I've done. I think I've had a lot of variety. Yeah, I became a team leader last winter when I kind of realized that like I wanted to grow and have a bit more responsibility, and I've really enjoyed having some more responsibility in my role. What about you, Rubens? How did you get us here?
So I've joined TUI, not like you for Crystal, but I've went straight for summer. So I joined in summer 2023 in Greece. Then I made a small break over the winter to join again the following summer. I went to Malta. Afterwards, I went to enjoy the winter in the Caribbean in Mexico. And then last summer, I've been in North Macedonia, and now I'm here in Italy in Cervinia for Crystal. So a bit different than you. I've, I'm now a team leader since last summer, so in North Macedonia, and was same as you, was also like curiosity, willing to grow in the company. I joined at the beginning like really out of curiosity, willing to have a nice summer abroad, and here I am 3 years later. So no, yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, actually, I suppose I forgot to mention like kind of how I got my first job within TUI was I had been working at a cafe and I was sat on my lunch break and I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw an Instagram ad for Crystal ski reps and I clicked on it. And little did I know back then kind of that it was going to turn into this, you know. I thought I was just signing up for kind of one winter season, do a bit of skiing, and then it kind of unfolded into the last 4 or so years of my life, which has been absolutely great. Okay, so we've kind of reflected on our journeys, but let's bring it back right here to this winter season, Rubens. So why don't you tell us about some of the roles we've got during the winter?
Yeah, so during the winter with Crystal, we do have three main roles. We do have the ski holiday reps, the service support reps, and the childcare roles. So when it comes to the ski holiday reps, so when we are in destination, we are here to support our guests that are traveling, and the ski holiday reps are directly in contact with the guests. So they are in the hotel, they are explaining around, explaining the resort, which slopes people can do. They're also there to assist in case something went wrong, to make sure our guests have the best week or weeks possible. After, so you have the service support roles. So as you mentioned earlier, SSR, there is not directly facing guests. You are more working in the back office to help and prepare the week and to support the colleagues that are working straight with the in front of the guest. So it can be with preparing packs that we hand out to our guests when they arrive, with a bit of sort of administration. Then you have the childcare roles. So childcare roles is you are having kids club, you are hosting kids club, and you do have the parents dropping their kids in the morning, and then you take care of them during the day. So during the winter as well, we also work at the airport. So we also go. It depends on the destination, once or twice to the airport to welcome our guests and also to say goodbye to the guests that are leaving.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry. Continue.
So working in winter, it's a quite of an active lifestyle. We live in the mountains, so we have incredible views, but obviously it comes also with the cold. You need to like the snow naturally. We have the time to go skiing as well, and it's really, we need to work like as a team. They can be busy, but work hard, play hard. So we have the time to enjoy as well.
Very nice. Okay, so just to interrupt quickly, we have a question from Charlie Pick about, I would love to work for TUI abroad, but cannot find applications for English citizens. So since Brexit, it has become much more difficult for TUI to employ British citizens overseas, and especially within the EU. But there absolutely are some roles that are available. They're very highly sought after, and they do fill up quickly. But they are out there, and you can find them on the careers page. Okay, so just to continue on then. So we've also got some winter sun destinations. So myself and Rubens have both chosen to go for winter snow with Crystal Ski, but there is also winter sun, so out in places like the Canary Islands, things like that. And a lot of the roles overlap, but they tend not to be quite as or they tend to be a little bit more specific than they are in ski. So in ski, kind of everyone does everything due to the nature of our resorts, whereas in winter sun, you'll typically work in a bigger team, um, but you'll still have roles like holiday rep, service support reps, childcare roles. And in winter sun, you'll also have animation roles, so kind of entertainers and things like that. Okay, yeah. So the surroundings in winter sun are obviously very different than they are for us here in ski, but the focus is absolutely still on kind of guest experience, teamwork, and making sure everyone has a great holiday. Okay, should we have a look at some of the questions, Rubens? So
Yes.
Chenisita asks, I am new to skiing. Is that a problem, Rubens?
No, it's not a problem. In my team currently in Trevina, I do have two member of staff that are new to ski. That's not a problem, as long as you are interested in the mountain and that you are willing to learn skiing as well, or at least an activity that we do in the mountain. That's not a problem at all. We also work with some ski school, and sometimes, depending on the resort, we can try to organize things as well for you to help you learning on ski. I see also another. That's not really a question.
Oh,
It's
can I circle back to the new to skiing question? Sorry.
oh yeah, go ahead.
So when I signed up for Crystal Ski, I had never been skiing before. I was one of the people that was completely new to skiing. I just watched loads of YouTube videos and decided that I was going to like it. So off I went to France. Um, so it wasn't a problem at all. But it we do kind of want to, really make it clear that as long if you're new to skiing, that's absolutely fine, but you do need to show some sort of interest in skiing because when our guests are here, their holidays are very specific. They're 95% of our guests are here to ski. That's what they want to hear about. That's what they want to talk about. So even if you're new or you choose not to ski, you need to be able to talk about skiing and kind of be enthusiastic about skiing.
Mhm.
All right. Is there any other questions in there you liked, Rubens? You want to get one off?
Yeah, but I see like Hile Daslan who sent that the application is ongoing, and in the talent pool right now, just waiting. So yeah, exciting time before getting the answer. And I see that you are also asking exactly what is the hotel rep. How would you describe it, Dara? Do you have like in a sentence how to explain the job?
So I would say that the best way to describe a hotel rep is you are the face of the company that is closest to our guests. I think like we TUI and Christmas are very big companies. We have lots of people around to support us, but ultimately, you are kind of the point of contact for all of your guests. So your guests are going to come and see you. They're going to ask you for advice and tips and things to do, and like they really want you to be kind of the local expert, especially in ski. They're going to ask you, oh, so it's snowing today. Which side of the mountain would it be best for me to head for? Is there a best way to move through the resort? Should I start somewhere in the morning? Should I start somewhere in the evening? Is there any local restaurants you would recommend? So, kind of what we always say is our hotel reps need to be better than Google. So there's a lot of information that's available on the internet these days, but we are lucky enough to like live in and properly experience the places that we work in. So we want to be the local experts. Um, so I'd say that's one side of being a hotel rep. Then to be honest, the other side of being a hotel rep is often trying to deal with people's issues and trying to solve people's complaints. So we are empowered to solve people's problems in all of our kind of hotel rep roles. So it's nice to know that if someone brings you a problem, you are trusted and enabled to solve the problems. That's a big part of your job. But another thing that we say often that I really do kind of believe in, when I first heard it, I thought, oh, I'm not really sure about that. But the more I've worked as a rep and the more I've worked with people, I've realized that every complaint is really an opportunity to impress. If someone brings a problem to you and you're able to kind of smash it out of the park, fix it straight away, make the guests happy, get their holiday back on track, that's going to leave so much better of an impression than if everything just went smoothly from the start. So yeah, there's a hotel rep. You're in the hotels, you're dealing with people, you're trying to help them out whenever you can, be it by giving advice or by solving their issues. Something you'd like to add, Rubens? I feel like I really rambled there.
Uh, I think you kind of got everything of the job. Maybe one also that especially for the summer destination and the winter summer like winter beach destination that has not been mentioned is we also promote our excursions in resorts. So it's also some selling part of in the role. Um, as of course, when guests come in vacation, some of them wants to discover new places, new culture, and so we are there to promote all those as well.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so we see a question here about kind of wondering when applications are opening up as an entertainer, for instance, in this one from Emilia. So our applications open kind of constantly throughout the year. So there will be kind of the main batches of applications opening, kind of about in the middle of the seasons to try get ready for the next seasons, but they come out all the time. It depends on our business needs. So if we find we need more people in a certain place, we'll post an application as and when is needed. So you can sign up for notifications to get all of the listings as they get posted. You can get email notifications about them. So that'll be the best thing to do.
Yeah, completely.
All right, Rubens, are you going to
Yeah,
tell us about? Let's. I know both of us absolutely love talking about the winter. We both love
yeah.
skiing, but let's kind of talk about some of the differences and how we're going to branch into summer. So, what some of the differences are? The main differences between summer and winter.
Yeah, so that's obviously a question we get quite a lot because of the operation we offer. In many ways, the job has some similarities, but will also be a bit different from time. So the similarities, we're always supporting the guests. Oh, and sorry, I will turn off that. Um, so yeah, we always support our guests. We always work together, and we are representing TUI all the different brands, as you mentioned, Marella Cruises, as we are currently in Crystal Ski as well. Um, what really changes the environment, of course, like for an example, for example, myself last year winter, I was in the Caribbean in Mexico. uh, I had my New Year on a catamaran in on the Caribbean in short pants
Whoa!
and t-shirt.
Oh, it's
This
tough.
year,
It's tough.
tough life, right? And this year, I'm 2,000 meters of altitude in the Italian Alps. I got New Year with minus 15 degrees. So that's the main difference here. Um, so winter in the mountains, like yeah, is really different. But the skills you need are transferable from summer and winter. So
Mhm.
moving from winter into summer or summer into winter, it's also what you like. Of course, if you don't like mountains, we do have our jobs in winter that are in summer destination, in beach destination, but it's easier than what people expect because TUI is helping us a lot on moving, and is planning when we're leaving a destination, when we're leaving the next one. So that's always taken care of. But yeah, that's exactly why we're here as well, to a bit explain more about the differences and to answer any questions. And I see that I think we've received new questions. So I see Emilia that is asking, I was wondering if you can have multiple jobs or if you can switch between months or combine them, for example, as an entertainer and child host.
Right. So on that, I I wouldn't recommend anyone trying to do two of the TUI jobs together, as they are kind of all full-on jobs in their own right. But in your example, an entertainer and a child host, you will have like a little bit of crossover between the two of them. So of course, sometimes the like childcare hosts will have to help the entertainment team, and also vice versa. Especially in, I would say that happens less in kind of Crystal Ski, but that happens a lot more in some of the summer destinations. So I would kind of recommend that you pick one and you go for it and see how it goes. And then, of course, if you get to your destination and maybe you realize that the job role you're doing, you think maybe you'd be better suited in an alternate job role in the same destination, that's something you'll definitely be able to talk to your line manager about. And there is possibilities to move between things like that. So it's not something that you'll be contracted as you'll be half this, half that. But of course, if you feel you'd be better suited elsewhere, it's a conversation that your line manager will absolutely be willing to have with you. Okay. A nice one's just come in. Rubens, your favorite location so far?
That's a question I get a lot, and that's a question I have so much difficulties to answer. Every destination are so different. Every destination, the size of the team, the environment, the type of guests. Like Mexico has been wonderful. I loved it every single second there. But it has been the same with so many destinations, and now being back skiing after not skiing for so many time, so long is such a good pleasure as well. So it's quite difficult, but I'll go with Mexico for now. Yeah. And you, Dara, what
Nice.
place you prefer?
So, I think so. Like work wise, I think I would have to choose my season in St. Anton in Austria. That was amazing. I think like my team there were really, really good. Everything was a super smooth operation. It's a close second to my season in Ischgl in Austria. Also very good. Worked super well. Like I really enjoyed living and working both those places. But if I were to choose my favorite location that I've been with TUI overall, I'm going to throw a bit of a curveball. When I was working on cruise ships, we called to a place called Beckway, which is a tiny island in St. Vincent of the Grenadines. So I got to visit there maybe for like 5 days, kind of individual days. But that little island is the most incredible place that I have ever seen. Yeah, it was kind of, if you can picture about 10 meters of perfectly golden sand that's in between kind of live coral reefs with loads of fish, and then jungle up the hills. So it was amazing. I absolutely loved it there. Okay, so for summer 26, Rubens, what are the kind of the main locations that people are going to be looking at getting jobs in for the most part?
Yeah, so with TUI for summer, our main destination are Spain, Greece, and Turkey. And that kind of also answered, I see a question from Ben, that he says, I was informed that position would open in Kusadasi, such as SSR or Blue Guide roles. However, no position have been open so far as the Kusadasi operation been cancelled. So no, yeah, Turkey is a big destination for us. because they're not online doesn't mean that they are cancelled. We are still posting jobs regularly, so we still advise to look quite similarly. But with those three destinations, of course, we have multiple one. We've mentioned Italy, we've mentioned Austria, Mexico, and so on. But with all those destinations, we have two different contracts. We have local contracts and we have posted contracts. So all roles are available for both. But what's the difference? So for example, myself and Dara, we both on a posted contract. So it means that we are sent to destination. So every season we go to a new one. The local contract, you work where you live. So I've seen that we had at the beginning someone saying us that they were following from Antalya. So for example, you can work as a local in Antalya directly. So the option you choose depends on your situation. The role itself is the same. So that's with our different opportunity for summer. Dara, you want to tell us a bit more with working where you're living for the local roles?
Yeah, of course. So like we kind of know that a lot of the places we go are like absolutely lovely holiday destinations, but it's also the place that a lot of people call home. So we don't need people to always be leaving their home place if their home place is somewhere that people go on holiday. So it's kind of really good if it just so happens that TUI operates in your hometown, then it's going to be the perfect place for you to kind of work, and you can build an entire career based around your hometown. Yeah, having local reps is super important to us because obviously, if someone has grown up and lived in the destination that we're working in, the local reps are the people that really understand the culture and the character and can really sell a place not only to the guests but also to everyone else in their team to really help kind of bring in the knowledge, the local knowledge that our guests really look forward to. Yeah. Okay. So
yes.
So should we have a look, see if there's any more questions, then we can move on to talk about working abroad. So we've got, what advice would you give to those starting a new job? I think that's the question in many ways we've been waiting for, I think. So Rubens, what have you got to say about that?
For when you start a new job, I'll say openness to listen to your colleagues, to listen to your manager on with the advice that they will give you on also on the way you will approach when you will go to your hotels, as obviously the hotels they're working all year long, and then if you are posted, you arrive like 1 month and then you are, hey, I'm here. So open also to work on how the hotel is working. So flexibility as well is really important. Flexibility to on the way to work with the hotels, also on the destination you will receive. Yeah, so I think openness and flexibility are a good combination. Would you say anything else, Dara?
So yeah, I absolutely agree with that. That's great advice for sure. And I think another piece of advice I would give is definitely to kind of, be yourself and bring your personality to work. At the end of the day, in the majority of the roles within TUI, we are like people facing, we work with people, and what people want is authenticity and personality. So I think it's super important that you bring that to work with you.
Yeah,
Yeah, should we
definitely.
fire out a few questions? So, Rubens, to apply for Morella Cruises, is there a separate website?
No, it's directly on the same website. That has been sent as well just a bit before. So the career.tui group. So if you need to look there, and when there will be new position open, it will be uploaded there.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So there is also Emilia asking, if we do have days off, and if yes, are they fixed?
So, yes, you will have a day off. Well, I will caveat that with Marella cruises, potentially not, due to the maritime laws. It's a little bit different. Usually you do, but you might have to work a little bit in the morning or something. But in general, in Crystal Ski and in TUI summer destinations, yes, you will have a day off. And they're fixed to the extent that your line manager decides that they are fixed. You know, if you find that one day of the week works better for you and that suits our business needs, you'll be able to speak to your line manager and say, oh, I would actually work better for me if I could have Tuesdays off instead of Wednesdays off. And if that fits within the kind of requirements of your destination and your role, that's absolutely something that can be changed. It's not automatically always the same day. For instance, in ski, we usually take Wednesdays off because that's the middle of our week and kind of the quietest time. But if someone wants to do something on a Tuesday, wants to do something on a Thursday, that's typically not a problem. We can move the day offs week by week, especially for us in smaller destinations. It might take a little bit more forward planning in bigger destinations.
Yeah. Yeah, I would like really mention like it really depends on destination as well. Yeah. Um, I had both. I had destination where my day off was fixed. I had destination where my day off wasn't fixed because we do have destination where we have arrivals every week, every day. Sorry, and so it depends on the arrivals. But
Mhm.
that is also, as Dara mentioned, something to talk with line manager if there is really a requirement for you, and then we can organize and work through that as well. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so just to get back on track, let's go through working abroad. Rubens, do you want to tell us about, as opposed to working where you live, what it's like to work abroad? Something both of us have done quite a lot of.
Yeah, so working abroad can be like a dream for some. It's with TUI we have a lot of opportunities to do that. We're moving destination to destination, so most of the destination will be we will do one winter then one summer. Winter starts in general depending on the destination, end of October, beginning of November, and until end of March, beginning of April, and April will be then summer, and so on. So most of the time we will do 6 month by 6 month, changing every time. But we do also have destination where that work all year long, so you can go for a full year. Uh, so you work with people from all over the world. We do like have colleagues from different countries, like especially in the European Union and in UK as well. But for example, if you go and you work in Malta, you will work with Maltese. If you go in Turkey, you will work with Turkish as well. So it's a really nice opportunity as well when you go there on your day off to visit the countries you're in and you have the insight with your local colleagues about the destination. It's always really appreciable. They are the one who know the destination the best, of course. So you experience new culture. You have really a different way of living. As for example, when I was living in Belgium, like on my days off, it was sometimes like, oh, I'm tired today. I'm just gonna stay home and do nothing. And no, every time my days off, I'm more tired than during the week because I'm always doing too much things. I just this
Nice.
morning I woke up more earlier than on my working days just to go skiing, for example. So yeah, that's quite active. Um, but there are also many possibilities like you start working abroad for and you be like, oh, I'm gonna do one season. It's kind of a bit what we both had. Let's try one season and let's see.
Yeah,
And in the end, here we are still here. So that's really like a possibility to do so. And there is also like if you find your dream location, I know colleagues that decided to switch from working abroad, so with a posted contract, and they switched to local contract because
mhm,
they found the dream place. So that's also a possibility.
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
Uh,
So I think, yeah, I think you've summed it up very nicely. working abroad is absolutely something that I have loved. I think it's been why I've stayed for so long, is getting to experience all these different things. But that being said, if you work abroad for a few seasons and then you decide you want to be home more often, there is still opportunities within TUI to do that as well.
Yeah.
So, kind of, some people might view going off and working a few seasons as, wasted time out of their future career or anything like that. But it's really not like that at all. You get a lot of valuable experience working abroad, and then you can take some of your experience home with you in certain situations. So, yeah, I think we've touched on it quite a lot, but
Yeah.
I think we should go into like a little bit more detail about some of the other roles that we've got in summer of 2026. So I think kind of the hotel rep, we've gone into that one. But for the airport rep, for instance, Rubens, you just tell me what an airport rep does.
So our airport rep, they are at the airport. I think I'm not breaking anything new to anyone here. Uh, so airport reps, you are the first and the last face our guests are seeing. So it's quite important because in the journey from when you're on holiday, these are both of important touch point. So we support guests at the airport. So for example, on the at departure day, we will be in the check-in lines, checking if everything is okay, redirecting people to the correct check-in desk if needed, towards the security, and answering all the last some question that a guest might have. While when you are on arrival, so when guests will arrive, you will welcome them, and then you will show them the bus they have, so that for the transfer to go to their hotel. Depending on the situation, it might be also private taxi. Depends on what the guests are booking. But so you are welcoming them. It's the first person they will talk in the country they're visiting will be you, and then off they go to the hotel.
Mhm.
So yeah, a hotel rep, we've been through it as well, and then we have like the service support reps. We've mentioned it already, but yeah, the service support rep, they are trained to support our guests in a bit more complex or out of the ordinary situation. So our service support rep, they work closely with the hotel reps and with the airport reps as well, because they are here to support us and everything that might happen. For example, medical cases, then the SSR service support rep, sorry, will assist visits at the hospital, and so they really have like a key role in the destination. They are also monitoring the messages that are coming through on our app, where we have like a both way communication with the guest, and they can also check and answer there. So it's really the the workers from like the back office that help us and make sure that everything goes well for us.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then we
absolutely.
also you want to add something to it?
Um, I suppose I'll just add in that I think of all the roles, the service support rep is the most different between the winter and the summer. I think being a hotel rep is very similar in winter and summer, but service support rep, yeah, quite a different role between the winter and the summer. And also, I suppose in the winter, for us in Crystal Ski, we don't have airport reps. So we're all airport reps. All of the hotel reps will also do all the airport rep responsibilities. Okay, so do you want to continue, Rubens? Sorry for
Yes.
jumping in on you.
No problem, no problem. So we also have like for the summer childcare roles and animation roles. So animation, they will go from fitness instructor, sport coaches, and entertainers. So they will be in general. They are in big units where we have a lot of guests coming, and so they will make so fitness instructor, of course, that can go from some Zumba, some in the pool as well, so like spinning in the pool, entertainers. They might organize a nice evening for our guests with some shows and all. And sports coaches will be on a main sport that they will be coach for the people coming. While the childcare roles, you work with children up to 12 in our kids club. So yeah, that's really the childcare as as a childcare that you can find back home. We do the same as well. We take care of the kids during the day, while the parents, if it's on a winter in the mountain while they go skiing, if it's in the summer while they go maybe on a cultural excursion that the kids might not be so fast about. uh, and so the parents can also enjoy that time there. um, yeah, so that's will be main that will be the roles we have. But just before we go from moving from winter to summer, and that I give you back the floor, I will just take the opportunity. I see that Ben Gieder has sent also a new question. Thanks, we truly love TUI. Me and my husband, as a former TUI employee, we proud to be part of the TUI team. We relocated from Antalya to Izmir, and it appears that there are no open position for here. So we will send a link with all the position in Turkey. So it should arrive anytime soon on the chat. Um, so we also have, so I think it has just been sent right now for you. We also have a question from Kinyonga. Hi, the service support role is not completely clear to me. Can you please tell, for example, why the role is so different on summer and winter destination? Thank you.
Yes, I can. I can. So in the winter, the service support rep, I'd say their main responsibility is looking after, well, when I say winter, I'm talking about ski. Um, so in ski, the service support rep there, one of their core responsibilities is managing any pre-booked items that guests might have with us. So of course, when people come on a ski holiday, they everyone needs a lift pass and everyone needs a set of skis to go skiing. So the main role of the SSR is to make sure that everyone gets the pre-booked items that they've ordered, so that all the right things are in the right envelopes, that all of our suppliers, the lift pass office and our equipment suppliers are aware of who is going to be coming to pick up their equipment at what time and all that sort of stuff. So along with the responsibilities of the summer SSR, which I'll go over now in a second, the winter or ski SSRs have all of that responsibility as well. So in the summer, the SSR is there. They're kind of more similar to a normal hotel rep, but who deals with more complicated situations. So, say for instance, a hotel rep has an issue where one of their guests is hospitalized or anything like that. The service support rep can kind of be viewed as almost a like free hotel rep who's able to assist any of the other hotel reps with anything that's slightly more complex or might require a bit more attention, so that the main hotel rep for that hotel still has time to service the regular needs of the other guests in their hotel. So I think the SSRs in winter do that as well, but that's, I think, the main difference between the winter and summer SSR role. Would you agree, Rubens?
Yeah, I think it is the main difference. Yeah, but both roles are exciting, but they're different. Yeah.
Yeah, and I will add that both roles are still guest facing roles. I do want to make that clear. While you may not have kind of your own dedicated guests, um, then you will still be talking to the guests. You'll still be interacting with the guests. You won't just be hiding in an office anywhere.
I think it's for the question at the moment is what we have. So we can move to moving between how it is moving between winter and summer. We've mentioned already a little bit about it, but you want to tell us a bit more about it, Dara?
Yeah, for sure. So I think we've kind of, me and Rubens are examples of it, and I think we've made it abundantly clear that, working with TUI isn't just a single season experience, or it doesn't have to be. It can be if that's how you want to do it, but we have a lot more people that come say they're going to do one season and do more than people that say they're going to do loads and only do one. It does get quite addictive to kind of move around to new places and have new experiences. So yeah, you can start in the summer and move to winter, or you can start in the winter and move to summer. And there's a lot of flexibility. And every time you move, you're gathering more and more experience that is going to help you in all of your future seasons. So yeah, it gets better and better over time, to be honest. Okay, so we're coming towards the end now. So if anyone wants to get their questions in, we'd like you to start getting them in now. Okay, but we will remind you also that as we're starting to get to the end, there is another live stream later on today. So that's directly with our recruiters. Okay, so if you're already thinking about applying, we want you to go this afternoon and chat directly to the recruiters. So they'll be able to give you a bit more information about the applications process, the interviews, the requirements for different roles, and kind of the next steps for applying and interviewing and getting sent out to your destination. So do make sure that you join that later. Okay. And then as we're uh, as we're coming in to wrap up, Rubens, do you have any final team leader tips that you would like to share with anyone here with us today?
Yeah, we've already a bit mentioned some while we answer some question, but yeah, to say and quality that I think it's important for seasonal work. I will mention it again. It's like flexibility, being flexible, and uh, will be the key quality I think is important there. We will have lots of different things going on during the season, and yeah, we request flexibility. One thing I would have liked to know before my first season, though, I think it's how you can get too quickly like attached to the job and to that just travel everywhere like
Yes, yes.
and I was like, I'm gonna go for one summer and then I will go back to Belgium and yeah, no, this if you are someone that is like service oriented, this is like really a place you can just like grow in the company there. It's quite easy. Um, and yeah, if you think about applying for 2026, as yeah, we mentioned it as well, but as TL, I would really like be yourself on the interview. Um, yeah, just be natural, and it's what is important when we are like guest facing, is that we are ourselves when we talk to the guests. We are the same in the hotel, outside of the hotel, and that's what makes it work. Yeah, I don't know, Dara. You have anything you want to say as well? You last maybe tips or anything?
Sure, yeah. I think one of the tips I'd have, and like a quality that I think is super important for us doing this job, is enthusiasm. I think like having people be enthusiastic not only makes you kind of so magnetic to the guests, like guests really want to talk to you if you're enthusiastic, not only about your job, but also about where you are, the place you live. Something that I do very often is when I'm here, and I'm sitting on a chairlift and I'm looking out over the mountains, and I say to myself, like, I live here. I actually get to live here, which is amazing. So I think, yeah, enthusiasm and kind of a bit of perspective for the opportunities that you are getting to have are super important for sure. I think Ruben's, with regards to something I wish I had known before my first season, I have to agree. I wish I had known that, how addictive it was going to be. Um, I think my parents were a bit shocked when I went off for my first season, and now I haven't been home for 4 Christmases in a row. But luckily, they're very supportive of that. They're really happy to see that I'm out here living in amazing places and doing what I love doing. Um, and then, yeah, so if there's any advice I have kind of for people who are thinking of applying to summer 2026 is to kind of just do it. I think like it can be very scary to move to a different country with lots of people you've ever met before, to do a job you've never done before. But I think kind of pushing yourself to take that leap, and once you get there, keeping an open mind is the best thing you can do. Like when I was leaving from my first season, I didn't really know what to expect, and I was quite nervous, I must say. But when I look back now, I'm so happy that I went out of my comfort zone to go somewhere else, see new things, try new things. And to be honest, I can't really imagine my life without having done that anymore.
And if you're done, I will also add one thing. Like when you say it can be like scary to go, but I think one thing is important to know as well is that your colleagues in destination will become more than just colleagues, and they will be your destination family, if I can say. It's with them that you will make. You will celebrate Christmas. You will celebrate New Year. You will celebrate your birthday with them, and so they will be more than just your colleagues, and they when you will arrive, you will not be alone. You will be with them. Everyone there, like all the posted, will be there, and we will all be in the same situation, living abroad,
Mm,
far from our family and our friends. So when you will have days off, it will be the same for your team. And so you will spend a lot of time with them.
for sure, for sure. Okay, so is there any final burning questions that anyone would like to ask us before we finish up today? Um, and of course, if there's any kind of more direct questions related to the recruitment process, our recruiters are going to be available between 6 and 7. Then that's UTC this evening. Okay, so don't get your time zones mixed up. So, have we got any more questions coming in? I don't see too many more coming. You guys have a little bit more time. Get those fingers tapping. Yeah, but thank you all for all the questions we did have, and thank you to everyone for joining us
Thank
on the
you very
live
much.
stream today. Yeah, and thank you to my co-host Rubens. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you to you, Dara. It was really nice being here with you today. Um, yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully, if you were thinking about joining TUI for the summer, hopefully we've kind of given you the little extra push you need, and we've shown you that it's not just one summer. You can make a career and a life out of this, and I'm so glad that I did. And we look forward to welcoming you guys in the summer of 2026, hopefully in one of our destinations. Rubens, where are you headed for the summer? Do you know yet?
Yes, this summer I'm going to Mallorca.
To New York.
So yeah, I'm going to find a little bit of sun after a white winter. And for you, Dara, where are you going? Do you know
So
already?
I'm heading back to Lake Garda once again. So up in kind of
Nice.
northeast of Italy, an absolutely lovely destination, part of our Lakes and Mountains program, which shares a little bit more similarity with crystal ski than it does with beach summer. So that's another kind of really exciting opportunity. If anyone's interested in that, have a look into the Lakes and Mountains program. All right, so yeah, so as we're finishing up, make sure you visit our careers website to have a look at any of the opportunities that are going to be coming up, and make sure you sign up for the notifications if what you're looking for isn't there just yet, and hopefully it'll pop up for you. And then we've got a comment saying, "Thanks a lot. This was a very informative Q&A. I worked as an overseas rep in Tenerife and Tunisia 10 years ago, and and would love to get back into it. Snowy greetings from Belgium. Well, we would absolutely love to have you back, one of your fellow
Yes,
countrymen there, Rubens.
exactly. Yeah. I've seen I've seen stories from my friends all over that it's snowing in Belgium. So so just to bring me back a bit more from here with the snow current as it's currently snowing as well.
Very good, very good. Okay, so it seems like that's about it
Yep.
for questions at the moment. So yeah, thank you again to everyone for joining, and hopefully we'll see you all very soon.
Yes.